Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Katie and I realize we're kind of wonky. I don't know how to fix that though. For today's video, I wanted to do a video trying out all of the old makeup that I bought because of beauty gurus back in like 2010, 2011, 2012. And I just thought this would be a fun video to do. So stay tuned if you want to see me play with all of our old favorite makeup. Okay, so we are proper zoomed in and I'm going to start by grabbing out my primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish. I actually still use this, and for anyone that cares, this is actually a really good primer. I know it gets like a lot of flack because it was so overused by beauty gurus, but honestly, they were using it for a reason because it's amazing. This, the Photo Finish is really good about blurring lines and pores. And I've said this before, but a really good dupe for this is the Maybelline Baby Skin. I don't even know if they still sell that because as soon as I could afford to make the switch, I did. But yeah, it's just, this is so good. Okay, so that's on. I'm actually gonna let that set up just for a few minutes, but to put my foundation on, I am using the Morphe M439 foundation brush, and I'm bringing out a classic, the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. This is in the shade Santa Fe, which is a medium 2, so like a really light medium shade. And I absolutely loved this. I think every beauty guru on the planet used this, and it's just so good. So I'm just going to put the pumps there. Typically I would do it on my hand, but I'm trying to get out of the habit of that. It's really not necessary, and my hand ends up eating up all of the, I really want to stipple this, but my hand ends up eating up so much product. Also, I've already done my skincare. Oh, I missed the beauty blender. Who would have thought? And just as a tip, if you tend to wear your hair up a lot like I do, not only do the outside of your ears, but also go behind so that people aren't like, what the hell is going on around there? I'm not going too far down because I'm wearing a white top, and because this is such a light coverage, that's why people used to love the Sheer Glow, because it was light but it covered up stuff. So yeah, I don't feel like I need to. Okay, for my concealer, that's the one product that isn't like new, or that is new. And that's because I don't have a different concealer. I'm not one of these people that, because I have dry skin, and I also smile with my eyes, like as soon as I start to smile, it shows up here. I have to have like a really good concealer. I can't use like the Shape Tape because it's just way too thick. So I've been using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and honestly, it's amazing. I really just absolutely love this. But because I'm using like a really thin foundation, I'm not going to go too crazy. Also, we all know that back in the good old days of the beauty world, we all used the Urban Decay eye primer. I'm going to be using that today, and in fact I still use it in real life, but I still, because my eyes are so veiny and just disgusting, I still conceal over my eyelids first. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Real Techniques 100 brush, and I had a full size of this, and I know I've given it away to my sister, so Laura, if you're watching this, I need it back. No, I'm kidding. But it's the Hoola by Benefit bronzer. I have a little sample of it here. So this was the jam of like every beauty guru. This and Laguna, which I have that as well. And I'm just going to, I can cut so much better on this side than this side. And I know it's the hand issue, which is funny because I can write with, I'm right-handed, but I can write with my left hand. I text with my left hand, but I can't, like, I'm trying to practice, but I'm not gonna practice today. But I've been getting better about doing my foundation with my left hand, but yeah, it's just so frustrating. I'm going super light with this because the goal today is not to be massively intense. Do you remember we used to do the three? And so all the beauty gurus would say to make a 3 on your face, and that's how you knew where to, like, contour. I miss the good old days of YouTube. I would love to know, okay, this is a very important question. Who was your very first beauty guru? Mine was Tanya Burr, very quickly followed by Sam and Nick from Pixie Woo. Those were her sister-in-laws. And I just loved all of them. And I just fell down a rabbit hole of beauty gurus after that. I didn't even know people were doing that, to be honest, until I saw Tanya Burr, and I was like, holy crap, people are doing this. Why am I not doing this? Okay, so I've done that. Now I'm gonna go and do my brows. I'm using the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills. That has been out for a while, to be fair, a few years. I feel like people got on this train probably around 2016, so it's not too early, not too new, but at the same time, it's not like old school. Everyone was using MAC everything, and I have, to be fair, a ton of MAC. So prepare yourself for the inundation of MAC products about to hit you. I have this, I'm using the mirror in my bathroom behind my camera, and the wire for my mic is like right there. And so I feel like this brow is gonna be weird. I mean, let's be honest. Any of you that have been here for a while, you know my brows are effed up. I've been thinking about getting them microbladed. The only thing I'm afraid of is I don't want to end up going with someone that like totally ruins them, because then it's really hard to backtrack it. Like if you don't like them in the first 24 hours, it's kind of okay because you can like use water and oil and stuff like that to lighten it, but at the same time, it's still going to be there. You know what I mean? So it just won't be as intense. So I don't know, I'm a little bit afraid. Let me know in the comments if you have your brows microbladed. Did you have a good experience? Did you like who did it? How did you pick the person? Because I've been looking at people's like Instagrams and stuff, you know, the before and afters, but I still feel like, you know, most of the brows that they're doing have not been as bad as mine. So we'll see. Am I like breaking out around that brow? What's going on there? All right, we're gonna call that good, because let's be honest, it's probably as good as it's gonna get. Alrighty, so for cheeks, I actually have, oh, you know what, we'll do blush in a second. Let's first do my eye primer so that has time to set up. So I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Priming Potion in Anti-Aging. Do I have a brush? I do. I always put it on with a brush because it makes life easier, I feel like. I also push it into this inner corner just because we all love to push eyeshadow there, and if it's not primed, I notice that that's like one of the first places my eyeshadow starts to fade and crease and just look horrific throughout the day. And then another thing I do, take it up here, is just with the remnants, I go underneath my eye. Quite a sharp brush. Not sharp as in like cut me sharp, but sharp as in very tapered on the end. And then I'm going to take some powder and set over that. I love setting my eyes with my eye primer with powder because it will make it last throughout the day. Now I'm gonna use the I still call it Bourjois. That's what everybody, like all the Americans and the British back in the day, called it Bourjois. I think it's actually pronounced Bourjois. It's a French brand, but it is the best. I can't show you the inside because it's broken, but let me just tell you something about Bourjois, as I call it. Bourjois is a French drugstore brand that I used to sell in my store all the time. And what a lot of people don't know about Bourjois is it's actually owned by Chanel, and it's made in the exact same factory as Chanel. And these are quite literally, I'm not making this up, the absolute best drugstore brand of products I've ever used in my life. I don't think any drugstore brand out there today can hold a candle to Bourjois. So my theory is this: it's owned by Chanel. It's made in the exact same factory as Chanel. I actually believe in my heart of hearts they are making Chanel with all the same products as the Bourjois, and they're just pricing it up. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I would challenge you to find a Chanel powder that performs just as good as this one. I don't think you will. And that's just the tea on that. That's the tea on that. Using an angled brush, I'm just gonna go into my Bobbie Brown gel liner. And when I say angled, I mean like that. And I'm going to tightline. I highly, highly, highly recommend tightlining before you do your eye makeup. And I used to be one of those people that didn't tightline. I would wait till all my eye makeup was done, and just before mascara I would tightline. And I have to tell you, first of all, tightlining makes a huge difference. Look at this eye, which is tightlined, versus this one. This one already looks more awake, more like defined, alert, whereas this one doesn't. Also, when you're doing your makeup, if your eye isn't tightlined yet, you don't have the definition that I now have in this one. And so you're going in like crazy, and then you tightline and you're like, holy hell, I went like next level glam. So I highly recommend doing that first. And then finally, it does make your eye water, and you don't want to have like everything done and then start getting runny eyes. So it's so much better to just do it first. And we're done with that. And we're done with that. Okay. I think I can set that there. All right, so blush. So now that we've done all the important stuff. So there are probably 3 shades of MAC blush that were so insanely popular. As soon as I say these, you guys are gonna know exactly what they look like. The first one is Pink Cult. I still use it to this day. I really like it because it's a really soft, matte, muted pink. And it's just so pretty. I really feel like everyone should own this. It's a staple. It's perfect for like those no makeup days. The next one is Well Dressed. This is a bit more of like a slightly shimmer based blush, has a tiny bit of highlight to it, but it is also a bit more pinky, so it's definitely, it can be blended down into a no makeup look, but it's hard to get rid of like that tiny bit of shimmer that's in there. So this is definitely more of like a makeup look. And then finally, probably the most infamous blush of all time is frankly Scarlet. And this is what it looks like. It is so pigmented. You do not want to mess around with this. You want to make sure that where you put it is where you want it. I think I've used this once. I bought it because every beauty guru on the planet was using it, and I honestly think I've used it once. Today I'm gonna use Well Dressed, and I'm going to use the Zoeva 127 Luxe Sheer Cheek brush and just get a bit of color. And what's nice about this one, you can already see, it gives you that highlight. So that's why I was saying it's not like one that I would recommend for like the no makeup days, but just because it does have that highlight in it, so it's like pretty obvious. But it's still such a pretty blush, like I just can't get enough. After applying my blush, I always like to take my foundation brush or beauty sponge and just lightly tap over it, because it mutes down the highlight just a tiny bit, so that then it just looks a bit more natural and like we're not all trying so hard, even though in reality we are. So my eyes are ready to go. So now I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with them. I think I'm gonna start off with MAC Brulee. Oh my gosh, this was such a favorite of mine for so long. I'm just gonna lay this down all over my lid, starting in this inner corner. I used to wear like a brown smoky eye every single day. I don't like this brush. I'm going to go with the Morphe M413, which I have to say looks and feels and performs quite similarly to the MAC 217. So I'm just gonna put this all over my lid, going up towards my brow bone, and go from there. I have no idea what type of eye look I'm going to go for, but I know that I have 37 million MAC shadows in front of me, so the options are definitely open. Okay, so now that I've done Brulee, I think I'm gonna put on towards my inner corner Floof. This is a frosted, like pinky, shimmery shade. I love it. These are so powdery. Like, I'm not gonna lie, these are probably 2-3 years old. You know, as you do, hold on to everything makeup wise. But it still performs, it still looks good. So who's here to judge me? Holy hell, this is so much brighter than I thought it was gonna be. I'm just going to try to blend this out. That is so funny. I'm gonna use Omega, which is a matte. Okay, Katie, we need to calm down. Here I am thinking, because these are all like old, I need to be super intense, but let me just tell you, that's not true. That is not true. I did switch brushes just now because I just put too much color, and so I switched to a Morphe R37. It's gonna be really interesting to see what this looks like when I'm done, because again, I have absolutely no idea. I'm literally just grabbing shades, as you can probably see. It probably looks like I'm just grabbing shades. I'm really regretting using Floof, or using too much of it, one of the two, because it's so intense. Like, I feel like it's just so intense. How am I gonna cover this without going too crazy? You know what I mean? Let me see if I can like cram it down, matte it. It's not a matte. Let me see if I can try to mute this a tiny bit using Jest, because Jest is more of a pinky shimmer, and we may be able to pull that off, because I feel like Floof is just, it looks too white. It honestly looks silver, which is funny because in its package it actually looks pink. So I'm surprised by that. Or maybe it's because it like is so old, it looks pink, but it's really actually a silver. Yeah, that didn't really work. Didn't really go to plan, did it, Katie? Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna grab some Wedge. This actually, Wedge and Omega are really good. And then there's another one that's really good for doing your brows if you're doing them with shadow. Oh, that's what I should have done. Why didn't I think of that? Do you remember that? We used to all do our brows with shadow. We never ever used like pencil and stuff back then. And when I say back then, I'm talking about like 2010, 2011. So really not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. But as far as makeup and the way the makeup community has advanced on YouTube, it feels like it was actually 100 years ago. So crazy how everything is literally so different and like insanely different. Like, drama, tea, people fighting, people trying to out people. It's so crazy. It's actually really sad as someone. So a lot of you guys may not know this. I've been on YouTube for years, like since 2011, 2012. That's how long I've been doing this. And I do it because I love it. I don't do it to like make a ton of money and stuff like that. I do it honestly because I just love it. And anyways, I actually miss the old YouTube so much, where you could upload videos like this, where you're just chatting away, doing your thing, and people were not mean to you. People weren't like hateful or anything else. I really miss that. Now it's just so, I honestly think the problem is it's so highly commercialized that it's hard to rein that in. And there's so much money to be made, even though a lot of people are struggling at this. The ones that have made it big are making so much money. And we see that when, you know, things get posted about how much people like Zoella and, you know, James Charles make per post on Instagram and stuff like that. So I honestly think there's so much money to be made in this industry that it's just brought out such an ugly side to people. And I think it's really sad, because back when I started YouTube, I didn't even know about the partner program. Like, I think the partner program was just getting started. I'm gonna have to look and see when my very first upload to YouTube was and put it in here so that you guys can see what the date was, because yeah, it's just so different now. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to rein this in and pull it back. So let's just keep moving forward. I'm gonna use Satin Taupe, which is another shimmer. But I just feel like, I mean, it's getting super shimmery in here. Like, just, we may as well go with it at this point. And I'm just using like really, really lightly. I barely dipped in, because as we're learning all over again, MAC eyeshadows are super pigmented. I should have known that already because I've been using them for years. I mean, to be fair, I still use, I have the MAC, what is this? This is the MAC Warm Neutral palette. It's an amazing palette. It's actually my current go-to. I use it every day. And the reason I didn't use that palette for this look is I wanted to use all of the old matte colors that we all used to like go crazy over. I'm just gonna try to flick this in. Yeah, that's not working. Oh my god. You know what would have made this video even more nostalgic is if I would have put tape on my eyes right here. That would have been so old school. We wouldn't have known what to do with ourselves. I don't normally wear not shimmery. I don't normally wear silvery type eyeshadows. Even though I have cool undertones, I tend to gravitate more towards the warm tone shadows. And so this is like really, really odd for me to see myself like this. That's why I think I'm freaking out so much and I'm like, haha, what's going on? Because it's just not my jam. I honestly feel like, and I know this isn't true, but for me, I feel like it is. Because I have cool undertones, wearing cool tones on my eyes, I feel like it washes me out. I'm just saying what I think. I know so many people will be like, no, that's not true. And I hear that every time I say it, but I honestly think that. So, eyeliner would have helped if I got one. Please hold. So, for eyeliner, back in the day, we didn't have the marker pencil eyeliners yet. Marker pencil. The marker liquid eyeliner. And I'm not gonna do liquid eyeliner because I feel like I'm just getting too crazy. So I am actually just gonna use the Bobbie Brown gel liner because everyone was using that back then. So I'm gonna grab an angled brush. This is the Zoeva 317 wing liner brush. And going back in, had I known I was gonna do this, I would have prepared with something to hold my arm on, but instead I'm just going to sit awkwardly and hook it on my knee. I don't know why, but I really want to stand up right now. I always do my liner standing up, so I feel like it's weird for me to be sitting down doing it. Actually, to be fair, I just always do my makeup in general standing up. Okay, I'm not gonna wing it out because I'm gonna put fake lashes on because that's what every guru did back then. So I'm now just gonna grab, this is a MAC pencil in Stubborn Brown, and it needs to be sharpened, of course, and I don't know where my sharpener is. Okay, we're just gonna cut our eyes. I'm just going to use this in my waterline. Yeah, that's like barely working, barely. And then using Wedge, again, and a MAC 266 brush, I'm actually just going to put this along my bottom lash line. I may have to go slightly darker. I kind of want to do a wing just because that's what I wear every day, but I'm not going to. But I just want it to be known that I really want to because I feel like my eyes need it. Okay, mascara, I'm using MAC False Lashes Extreme Black. Literally one of the best mascaras of all time. Highly recommend it. Actually, there's been, I'd say 6 or 7 of you that have tried this because I've told you guys it's amazing so many times. And you guys have reported back to me how much you love it as well. So highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you hear Louis snoring in the background, it's because he came in the bathroom. I shut the bathroom door and left the TV on for him, and now he's opened the bathroom door so we can all hear the TV. So kind. I wish I still had my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara, but I actually am looking to order that again just because of how much I used to love it. And when I was thinking about this video, I was like, oh my God, the Clinique Bottom Lash, I love it. So I'm actually gonna order that. But for now, I'm just gonna use the Benefit Roll Me Lash in Brown, or Roller, just to get a bit more definition down there. All right, lashes. I'm using Ardell Wispies. I'm sure everyone knows those. I've got to shut that door. So as I was saying, I'm sure everyone knows exactly what those are. We've all tried them. We've all used them. They're incredible. So I'm going to use the wispy lashes with, these are Demi Wispies with Duo Glue. This, it's funny because it says that free duo adhesive, and yet there is no duo adhesive. So I just thought that was funny. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Look at how tiny that is. Do you guys remember we used to get like the huge things of Duo Lash Glue in there? And now it's like this big. That's so tiny. It's actually kind of cute. Oh, I'm gonna leave it there. That's gonna be like, I don't know. I just got like really weird about that because it is kind of cute. Okay, I'm gonna use these Sephora lash tongs. We used to all use our tweezers, but these are so much easier. These are glued on for real. Holy hell, these are tiny. I didn't even realize that till just now. Well, that's embarrassing. You may have noticed that I switched to tweezers because the vein line that holds it all together is like extremely delicate and thin on this set. I'd forgotten about that. I have to tell you, I'm like so annoyed by how short these are. They're so short, and I feel like it's so obvious. Okay, just for like, I'm not sure if you can see perspective wise how thin that vein is. Like super thin. I mean, we all want thin lashes because it makes them look more, what's the word, natural, but these are like so insanely delicate. I love how I just was talking about, oh, we all use these now because they're so much easier, and I've literally switched to my tweezers. It just feels more natural, I guess, because that's just how I did it for years. I wish I would have got 2 pairs of this if I had known how short it was, because then I could have cut a pair in half and been able to fill in this inner corner. But if I had taken it to the inner corner, it would have stopped here. And I feel like that would have looked even crazier. So, you know, we just roll with the punches around here. Oh, still so annoyed. How far did I take these ones over? Oh, maybe I should do that. Pull these off. Okay. All right, we're just gonna call that good. I know you could still wear a winged liner with this, but I don't know. We'll take that into consideration after lipstick. So now moving on to lipsticks. I have pulled out all of the oldie but goodies, and we're gonna go through them together. Some of these I bought and was like, wow, this looked amazing on Tanya Burr and looks terrible on me, which is the downside of influencer marketing. So an oldie but goodie that is not MAC is the Rimmel Airy Fairy number 70. Like, when I was just going through my lipsticks just now, I have like 10 of these. Most of them are about this big, and it just shows how much I loved it. This is honestly an oldie but a goodie, and I'm actually gonna leave this out on my countertop with my other like everyday lipsticks because I want to start using it again. The next one I have is Sunny Soul. I'm not gonna be using this because I just feel like it's I've already got too much going on the eyes. If I had gone like a bit more muted on the eyes, I could have got away with it. The next one is Matte Pink Plaid. I used to love this. I might wear this. I might. We'll save that out. The next one is Capricious. Oh, this is like a good vampy one. This is great for, and you can tell how much I've used these, you guys. Like, you can see how much I've loved all of the MAC lipsticks. But that's really good for like fall. This one is Pure Zen. This is one of those ones that like looks really good on people with yellow undertones, darker skin. Me with my pink undertones, pale, no. It just makes me honestly look like I have foundation on my lips. The next one is Japanese Maple, same thing. I bought this because Hannah Mags, or Hannah Michalak, was constantly raving about it, and it just doesn't suit me. The funny thing is I've used it quite a bit. I tried to pull it off where I would use it like in the center of my lips, stuff like that. Oh, this is my very first MAC lipstick, Viva Glam 5, I think. I loved it. I went through like 6 of these. Loved it. And my last one, Chatterbox. Okay, so I think it's gonna be between Chatterbox and Pink Plaid. I think Pink Plaid is gonna win because it's slightly more muted, and Chatterbox is amplified, Pink Plaid is matte. So let's go with Pink Plaid. I don't have lip liners out, so I guess I won't be using one, but for this shade, you don't really need it. Oh, I love it. I can't believe I ever stopped using this. I don't think it's that I stopped. I think it's just that I got into using other lipsticks. So that is the finished look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Also, I would love if you left me a comment telling me what item you bought because of an old school beauty influencer and who that beauty guru was. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.